I'm Dan Gordon. I'm an elected delegate to the California Democratic Party. I'm part of their Computer and Internet Caucus. That's really a thing. And I also host the Schmalitics podcast. The FCC is voting to get rid of net neutrality. Net neutrality is this package of rules that was passed by the FCC in 2015. What is that? What's net neutrality? Seriously, what is that? Why should you care? Great questions. Net neutrality it's what we have right now. Net neutrality makes sure you get equal high-speed access to whatever sites you go to and whatever apps you use. It means your ISP can't play favorites. Whether you're going to Facebook or checking Gmail or chatting with video on the new Marco Polo app, which is awesome, your ISP, which by the way, that means your cell phone carrier and whoever you use for internet at home, like Comcast or at&t, it means they all have to give you the exact same high-speed access to whatever sites you go to and whatever apps you use. Your ISP has to stay neutral. What happens if we lose net neutrality? It means when you check Facebook or you use that Marco Polo app, your cell phone carrier or home internet company can slow down your speed or just block it entirely. It would be like if I wanted to send a letter to my mom, but the mailman doesn't like my mom. With net neutrality, the mailman has to deliver that letter as quickly as possible. Without net neutrality, the mailman can decide what he wants to do with it. He may deliver the letter, but instead of it getting there in 4 days, he can make it take 2 months. Or he can decide, you know what, I hate Dan's mom, and throw out the letter and it never gets to her. Or he can tell my mom and say, hey Dan's mom, if you want to get letters from your son, you have to pay me $10 a month. That's net neutrality, except the mailman is Verizon. That sounds pretty bad, right? So net neutrality protects us from the Verizon mailman. It means that smaller companies that can't afford to pay for the high-speed access to get to you makes it hard for small companies to compete with the big companies. For all our politicians in America, without net neutrality, any local internet service provider who favors your opponent can screw you. They can block customers from accessing your campaign donation website. They can redirect customers to your opponent's website. They can block your campaign emails and your videos and your social media accounts. They can even change search results to only return negative articles about you. Or they can just remove you from the internet. It's legal without net neutrality. And let's say some extreme right-wing conservative billionaire, it could be a liberal billionaire, but for argument's sake, we'll just say conservative billionaire, buys some local ISP, and they don't like liberal news, so they slow down your connection to the Washington Post, or they just block your access to the Washington Post, and they stop liberal candidates from showing up in search results. Even worse, imagine if a local ISP was owned by some foreign country that doesn't like America, like, I don't know, Russia. Getting rid of net neutrality does absolutely nothing positive for anyone except big business. This is about you getting what you pay for. And without net neutrality, we will be paying more and we'll be getting less. And because it's behind the scenes, most people won't even realize they're getting screwed. So who's deciding to get rid of net neutrality? The FCC is a 5-panel board, and in 2015 it was run by Democrats. But now it's run by Republicans, and the FCC chairman is a guy named Ajit Pai, and he's arguing to get rid of net neutrality because it's hurting the telecom companies. But the thing is, there's no data to back that claim up at all. In fact, after net neutrality passed in 2015, all of the telecom companies told their shareholders, like, yeah, business is fine, we're doing great, net neutrality doesn't really affect us. So he's full of shit. So the FCC has a website for posting public comments, and I have a link to it in the comment of the video here, but the thing is the FCC is actually ignoring it. And they're actually hiding the comments because it likely shows there's overwhelming support to keep net neutrality. So what can we do? It's time to cause a ruckus. Go on Facebook and search net neutrality and find some group in your area that's protesting. Get out in the streets, put it on social media, use the hashtag #SaveNetNeutrality. All right? Be smart, be safe. If you have other questions, just tag me in the comments and I'll answer any questions you got. And if you think, well, I can't really make a difference, here's the thing. If you haven't been involved so far, this is where we're at. So what happens if you get involved?